Speaking of, like, obviously ton of drama going on everywhere. There's a huge negative sentiment surrounding cryptocurrency, and we are going to watch a gaming YouTuber by the name of Echelon and his opinion on cryptocurrency. This video is called The Crypto Disease. Entire nations are now scamming.
Cryptocurrency and the community behind it is a disease.
Oh, come on, man.
Quite a few people angry, but quite frankly, I don't care. And I also don't feel the need to pepper in a whole bunch of qualifying statements for these people about how it's not all the crypto fans or not every ecosystem out there, because the rot is now so pervasive and so widespread, it deserves to be categorized with a broad, sweeping brushstroke. Of course, the exceptions to that statement are fully self-aware of who they are. Thus, they won't be angered by this kind of joke.
Yeah, and so the people that aren't, by the way, are legitimate proof of work, layer one, fair launch cryptocurrencies with utility. That's it, right? And anything else right now, I think I tend to agree with them. Every meme coin on Solana, give it that broad brush, right? Anything that is trying to sell you ASIC shovels, give it that brush. I don't mind going that far, really, even. But I see his point. I agree with it.
Generalization, because they know it's true and doesn't apply to them. But to reiterate here, cryptocurrency and the community behind it now are a disease. I'm going to focus on the concept of meme coins for today, but before anyone starts whining about how that's a fringe topic or non-reflective of the crypto community at large, no, it isn't. Sure, it used to be, but that idea that meme coins are some sort of fringe movement that exists only in the periphery of the crypto industry is now categorically false. I've talked about it before in separate videos, but I'll do a simple overview right now for people who never saw it.
Actually, he is correct. That is false, because meme coins are the majority of tokens being launched, right? We talked about why there's not going to be an alt season this time, right? Or why there might not be one. And the reason is there's too many tokens, right?
Fun. Pump.fun is the epicenter of meme coin depravity. Over the last 14 days, it's processed $2.5 billion in volume, with tens of thousands of tokens created daily. Pump.fun is a rigged casino with the lowest common denominator of gambling addict on planet Earth.
Yep.
And for anyone who's getting defensive right now over the tone of my voice and the selection of my words, good. That means you're one of the people who needs to hear it. It's actually a myth that YouTubers are somehow obligated to be respectful to all of their viewers.
Yep.
They're not.
You hear that, bitches? I got permission.
Pump.fun is a manifestation of greed. As much as anyone can believe in this word, it is evil. People are attracted to this platform because they can not only make money, but they can reinforce their own chances of making that money by racing to the bottom of human decency. These people call themselves degens, short for degenerate, because somewhere deep in their psyche they know what they truly are. And they refer to the practice of gambling meme coins as the trenches. The platform livestream feature, during its very brief lifespan, became a haven of provocative, shocking, and criminal activity. But for those of you typing out a poorly written comment right now before listening to the entire video, and some of you certainly will be because he can't say that about me, just stop. Yesterday, the 21st of February 2025, a meme coin was launched on Pump.fun, rapidly achieving a valuation in the millions of dollars. But this meme coin was the tokenization of a man's death. I'll not be showing it. I will not be giving the name.
I heard about that.
This token was launched because someone chose to repeatedly play Russian roulette live on a broadcast with the worst possible outcome and said, if I die, I hope you all turn this into a meme coin. It was turned into a meme coin, rapidly pulling in millions of dollars from this community as people used the tragedy for personal gain, while the tag, suicide, trended on Pump.fun in one of the sickest displays of human behavior that you'll likely ever see outside of the dark.
Have you guys seen how high up suicide is now? Like the second leading cause of death in teenagers in the US right now?
Web. Make no mistake, I'm fully aware that this kind of behavior exists in the world, but it shouldn't exist out in the open with the rest of us. And it should be relegated to fringe, dark, and difficult to access corners of the online world,
I'll subscribe.
afraid to ever
Sorry,
be
you
seen
caught
in
me.
the light.
Do
That
I
is
need
what these-
to? I mean, the dude's got like almost 1 million subs. I think he's good. He doesn't need a crypto degen sub into him.
People deserve, the ones trading and profiting from this death token, that they deserve to be ostracized. But instead of facing societal stigma, the crypto community is now emboldened every single day to continue this kind of behavior because presidents and nation states are now becoming vehicles for meme coin scams. 48 hours before he was sworn into office as President of the United States, Donald Trump launched his own meme coin on Solana.
Mm-hmm.
So far, it's extracted, I don't even know how many tens of millions of dollars from his most dedicated fans, funneling that money to insiders and special interests. What if I told you that the tragedy I just mentioned, the man who played Russian roulette repeatedly, what if I said that according to his social media activity, he claims to have borrowed money from his parents to invest in Trump coin before it collapsed? What then? Not even 1 day later, as if the soon-to-be president running a scam wasn't enough, his wife did the very same thing. Melania's token was even worse, but
Yeah, how do you guys feel about the Trump and Melania tokens? Because I'm conflicted on them. I'll be honest, right? Obviously, I always say mine don't buy. So by and large, this sort of thing doesn't impact me that much. Like I swapped some stuff that I mined into it. So at the end of the day, I don't really lose a lot. And I'm extremely conservative with everything, right? Like I think selling kaspa at 4 cents is a good idea. That's how conservative I am, right? I'm all about generating revenue, so I don't like sit on these things like this. And I think it's kind of cool that we have like a presidential meme token. I think it's kind of fun. Like I think it's fun, but at the same time, I think that it was. Here's what I think: it was damaging to the cryptocurrency community and the perception of it, because what it shows is that, but it also shows, I should say, I think it's damaging from that perspective, but I think what it also shows is that there actually is a complete misunderstanding and inability to control the market by even the developers and stuff, right?
realistically, what could anyone do about it? Trump was about to be sworn in as leader of the free world, and we don't even have regulation for the crypto market right now, so what could be done? Answer: nothing. Now, there's a phrase.
Now, that wasn't like, so he had basically a fallacy there. What is that fallacy? So so his argument was like, you know, what if I told you the guy that committed, it was appeal to emotion is the fallacy. So actually, I'm a little like upper echelon's usually pretty good about these things. And I completely agree with like everything he said in the beginning about the degens and the problem with Pump.fun. But when he tried to appeal to emotion by saying the guy that committed suicide, which this whole stream's going to get screwed now. The guy that unalived himself is also the guy that, you know, it is because he bought Trump token. That's just an appeal to emotion. That's not a good argument. That's a fallacy.
That what happens in America proliferates to the world, but honestly, I never really bought into that. Maybe it was true from a utilitarian perspective. A technological advancement may spread because it has reason to spread, and countries necessarily adopt things that benefit them. But I never really considered that crypto scamming, the same way it happened in America, at the highest level of our government, might also spread to the world. And you can call me naive for that, but I guess I have just too much faith in humanity. Well, shortly after Trump and Melania
I
promoted
made
scams,
5x on Trump and lost it on Melania. I mean, that's the lesson, right? Like so I said this multiple times as it pertains to the tokens. The easier it is to create, the worse it's going to be, right? And the fact is Solana's made it and Pump.fun's made it so easy that it's just going to get devolve into worse and worse, right? I've always said this too with like finding mining projects, right? The harder it is for you to obtain the coin from mining it, the higher likelihood of it being successful it will be, right?
Central African Republic, CAR, did the exact same thing. Not as an individual politician this time, it was done as a policy of the country itself, it appears. A symbol of unity, they said, clearly emulating the tokens that came before them from the Trumps, which has now cratered as well by almost 99% from its peak value. Investing $10,000 at the height of CAR tokens' initial rise would now be worth less than $200. But the thing we need to remember is that meme coins are no longer some sort of fringe concept in the world of crypto.
Fair.
It gets infinitely worse from there. The same people, at least some of the same people who orchestrated the Melania token launch, have gone on to do it again, this time in South America, with Argentinian President Javier
Libra.
Milei. This one,
Yeah.
called Libra, wasn't just a meme coin, or so they said. It was a mechanism driving, quote, the future of freedom and growth in the country. Excerpts from the website say things like, quote, Argentina.
Remember when this was like, so this all happened previously too, right? So this has happened in 21, this happened in 2018. Like, the only difference is it was a lot harder to do. Remember, it was, so Libra was actually another project too. There was a layer 1 named Libra. There was another coin called Pero, or not Pero, that's dog. What's oil in Spanish? Anyways, there's another one called that was created in Argentina. Like, this stuff there's nothing new under the sun.
Is full of talent, innovation, and entrepreneurs with great ideas, but resources to bring them to life are often limited. The Viva la Libertad project was created with a clear mission: to boost the Argentine economy by funding small projects and local businesses, supporting those who seek to grow their ventures.
It's going to drive me. Petro? No, the token was called Petro, but that's not oil in Espanol. It's called Petro, which is gas, right?
And contribute to the country's development, end quote.
I just remembered it was called Petro. It's called Petro. I thought it was going to be a big thing because that was early on in crypto when I got by that stuff too.
Meme coin launched on Solana.
I still get got. Let's not lie, okay? I still get got.
Again, but it was also advertised as so much more. You can still open the application for funding on their website. It's just a Google form, a simple one, but the atmosphere of this token was not just a meme. It was, this is an actual part of the Argentinian government, and the launch was directly promoted by President Milei. Mm-hmm. Sadly, it was a $100 million scam. Insiders cashed out, the price of the token fell, the president deleted his endorsement, and it turned out a guy named Hayden Davis, also responsible for launching and sniping the Melania token, was the architect behind this project.
Oh, Doctor
Hayden
responded?
Davis,
Maybe we can cover that after
from
this.
Texas, supposedly.
Thanks for letting me know,
King
Johnny.
Moron. But somehow King Moron is launching crypto scams at the highest level of nation states. After Libra went sideways, Davis decided to do an interview with CoffeeZilla, thankfully. That's probably the best person to extract good
I'll probably wait and save that and cover
in which he
it tomorrow,
incriminated
actually,
himself
Johnny.
on upwards
I have
of a
to do
dozen
some due
international
diligence.
finance crime.
So on the WhoSat versus SRB miner thing, I have to do some due diligence. Since I'm dealing with two people that are causing drama, I have to actually make sure I have all the facts straight. So give me a little bit of time to still do some more research on that, because that's what that's in relation to, isn't it, Johnny? That's Doctor responding to my question about WhoSat's allegations. Yeah, that's going to take more tact than just reading it on live stream. Because my goal is never to just like, yeah, not my goal is to do my due diligence on those things. That's that. Whew.
And even began asserting that the Trump token was dished out to insiders at a crypto ball in Washington, D.C. Messages appeared, allegedly, sent by Hayden Davis, saying things like, quote, sweet. Also, we can have Milei tweet and meet in person and do promo. I control that, blank. I send money to his sister and he says whatever I want and does what I want. Craziest shit, end quote. Or another.
Them getting caught with this stuff is so hilarious. And like, frankly, like, obviously there's some things that like upper echelon saying that I don't fully agree with, but a majority of it here, probably 99% of it I agree with. And some of the, I think there's like only one fallacy so far, but it's like the reason we need to be aware of this is one, look, what is that quote? The quote goes something like, if you believe something is true, then you need to like question that more than anything else. So if I believe that like crypto is the future and I think that ultimately like crypto is good, then I need to question like everything surrounding crypto as much as possible, right? And we also need to be aware of like what the retail sentiment surrounding it is too right now, which is not, honestly, is not looking good.
Another one, allegedly, quote, yeah, fellas,
And
to be
rightfully
honest,
so.
we are trying to max extract on this one. These founders, I don't know if they are bad guys or good guys. Normally we are very keyed in to the launch, but this guy is weird, end quote. At this point, the reality of the situation is that a 28-year-old directly facilitated not one, but two separate meme coin scams on two continents featuring two different political figures at high levels of government. And it is no longer possible to say that meme coins are a fringe concept. Meme coins are a mainstay, damaging, and quite frankly, in my opinion, criminal aspect of cryptocurrency, which is now one of the most prominent daily occurrences at the highest level of government across the globe. In Argentina, President Milei is now rightly facing a fraud investigation and possible impeachment. But what about America? The president and his wife executed meme coin scams, and our media didn't even talk about it. The figure responsible for multiple of these high-level token launches openly states that crypto is a rigged game made for insiders and alleges that Trump token was the exact same thing. But nothing happens. In one group,
they still haven't sold any of that 90% they control though, right?
Are the crypto fans who knowingly perpetuate a system like this, thinking, it's okay, I'm not the dumbest one. I can make money from someone who comes after me and offload it to them. And in the other camp are fanatical political zombies who mindlessly accept, defend, or handwave away anything that this administration does, regardless of how obviously and truly wrong it is.
No, I do have to agree with him. I have completely flipped on that. Like, obviously, like from a public perception, I thought, here's the thing. Here's what I thought. First of all, as far as tokenomics are concerned, like it looked like, I think that Trump and Melania and that whole crew kind of got played by the developers of the meme coin and the snipers on the token. And like I always say, you can only make so many people millionaires before they want to realize they're millionaires, right? People are just going to dump when they can become a millionaire. And that's a majority of the problem in the market, right? It doesn't mean that there's necessarily malicious things happening, right? However, you would have expected a presidential candidate to have more wisdom than to work with the people he worked with on this particular project, right? Which clearly there wasn't. So then, of course, that brings into question of like, what else is not getting proper research and due diligence on his part, right? And you guys know that I'm pretty bullish on like Trump in office for cryptocurrency. But I have to be realistic about it. And I do have to question these things because, like, frankly, it doesn't look good. He's completely correct.
I guess the third group is people like us who see right and wrong on full display here. But apparently we're the minority because...
Well, the problem is that the pendulum's swinging, guys. So you remember, like, so here's how it goes. There's people on the left and the right, and the pendulum swings back and forth. And there's the people in the middle that once it swings past them, can see it swing past them, and they don't sway one way or the other. Then there's the people that are on the ball of the pendulum swinging back and forth and just changing their mind every 4 years. And then there's the people on each side that only see the wrong the other side doesn't see the wrong that their side does, right? And right now, what's happening is we have people that are not seeing the, the wrong things that are being done, even as minute as like Elon Musk lying about playing Path of Exile 2. As much as like I get it, people are like, well, that you shouldn't care about that, blah, blah, blah. He's a successful millionaire. I'm like, but that displays character. And it makes me question his character. And do I want somebody with that kind of character deciding on what is happening to all of the government funding, right? At the same time, I really like all the transparency that I'm getting from Doge right now. I love it, right? So it's always trying to maintain as much, like it's trying to not hop on the pendulum swinging back and forth, right? That's what it is all about, and trying to see reality overall.
This is the world now. Cryptocurrency and its community are a disease. What started as a fringe mechanism for degenerate gamblers to get their
Which to say all, by the way, is a fallacy too. So he has two fallacies in this video.
fix is now a mainstream technique used by politicians at the highest level in multiple countries, directly harming their own constituents, fans, and citizens. The damage being done is becoming immeasurable, and yet people still try to somehow defend it with lackluster claims
I'm
about
not a
it's just
disease,
a
says
meme, or
tactics.
don't expect to make money, or free market. Just one problem: Libra wasn't a meme. It was billed as an economic vehicle for the benefit of small businesses. And when talking about a financial mechanism like Solana or Pump,
Yeah, but Trump and Melania, which he was talking against, those were both specifically classified as memes. So by his reasoning, Trump and Melania are
Pump.fun,
okay.
or meme coins in general, or even crypto at large, at what point does something become damaging enough to get put down? Like literally put down forcefully. There are no benefits to Pump.fun. None. Zero. There are no positive things that have come from it whatsoever. Not a single one. On the contrary, the financial harm it has caused is enormous. The meme coin vehicle has now graduated to the level of nation states. And I think it's time we realistically ask the question, when does something deserve termination? Pump.fun and the concept of meme coins deserve to be terminated with prejudice. The people advocating for them should be shamed and ridiculed until they are unwilling to publicly voice their positions. Financial consequences
He's going really hard on this, dude.
of the harshest order should be levied against every single person even tangentially involved with meme coin product launches, including sitting presidents. Because without making an example like that, the rot will continue to spread. Obviously, none of that is actually going to happen, sadly, but this channel is whatever I want it to be, and right now I want it to be this. Crypto may have started as something legitimate or interesting or valuable, and I was the kid back in college ranting about blockchain and how it might change the world. I was the one getting funny looks from people when I wouldn't shut up about Bitcoin way back then. But this is the worst possible version of what the industry could ever become, and it's not slowing down.
I think I do agree with that. I think Solana is probably the worst version of cryptocurrency that it could have become. Other than maybe Ripple. I think I do agree with that. I'm not going to lie. But we still have Bitcoin.
Ultimately, I can't actually do anything about it other than make my position clear. So that's what this is. My position is clear. And thankfully, my conscience is clear because I don't trade in, support, advocate for.
So here's the question too, because Scott in chat says people will stop using Pump.fun and it will die just like every other crypto fad. But Pump.fun has become more of a gambling addiction than anything else. And the question is, like, do people stop using DraftKings even though they've lost all their money on it? No, right? So Pump.fun might be the only thing that sticks around because people are addicted to it. Solana is fast and easy to use, EL. That's why everybody uses it. I hope you enjoyed this clip from the Crypto Mining Show. If you would like to see more from this particular episode, take a look up here. Don't forget to also subscribe to the channel. And if you want to support me directly, you can go to sonofatech.locals.com and become a member. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next Tuesday.